All right, thank you all for coming. This is the first class of the Silver Spectrum Smartphone Literacy class. We are funded by the NHSP federal program, New Horizons for Seniors program. So they paid for everything, that's why classes are free. Yeah, that's not how to use a phone. This is a fake picture. I didn't fake it, someone else faked it, but for those of you who are too young to remember, the phone's upside down. The cord goes at the bottom. So, basics on smartphones. First of all, what is a smartphone? It's a phone that you can do other stuff with besides calling people. So there's Androids, which is mostly what we covered. There's iPhones that have similar equivalent functions. It might be called a different thing and it might be in a different menu, and they might be 2.5 years behind technology. So first, how to charge your phone. Most important thing, if you can't charge your phone, you don't have a phone. So 2 important things. You need to use the correct cable. The correct cable is the one that fits. So there's been different standards for charging cables over the years. This one, the micro USB, was popular for a very long time. Now they switched to USB-C. The other end of this one is usually this one, a regular USB that fits into the side of your computer. And the other one of that one is usually the same as this, USB-C at both ends. The middle one here, it's a mini USB. It was meant for phones, but it's too thick for most phones. People want thinner phones. It's used, just not for phones. Most common place you'll see this is on wireless Bluetooth speakers. And also, those of you that are old enough to remember the graphic calculator we had in high school, the new model of it has a rechargeable battery inside, just like your phone. It needs this cable to charge. I'm a high school tutor. In the past 10 years, I've helped 7 of my students find their charging cable. I told them, go ask your mom if she went into your room and found her Bluetooth speaker charging cable and took it. 6 times out of 7, yeah, that's where it went. So these all work the same, it's just different size of connector for different size of device. And use the correct charger. We'll talk about charger compatibility later. So here we have your wall charger. You have a USB plug at the back. The old ones had the regular USB, it's called USB-A. The newer ones have a USB-C for this one at both ends, so you don't need the USB-A cable. The type of cable doesn't matter as long as it matches the charger at that end, one of these, and your phone at the other end, probably one of these. This is a car charger, very useful. So you put it in your, those of you who are old enough know what a cigarette lighter is. For the new kids, it's the charging port because nothing else goes in there anymore. Cars don't have a cigarette lighter anymore. And then at the end, you have USB-A or C plugs, and you plug in your cable, you bring it with you from home or buy another one, leave it in the car, plug it in there, the other end goes in your phone. And some cars, this is on all the time. Some cars, you need to turn the key on to get power there. It depends on the manufacturer.
How do you know if, obviously, one of the cord fits your phone?
Yeah.
Other than that, how do you know you're getting the right phone to get what I will get is super fast charging in my phone, and that's what I want. But yesterday I plugged it in, I was at 62%, it was going to tell me I had 2.5 hours to wait.
Yeah, that's probably because you weren't using the charger it came with. Is that possible? Sometimes it's the cord as well, you're right. Most often it's the charger. Cords, back in the day, you had cheap cables that weren't as fast or whatever, because the USB standard for the quality of the cables, it kept changing year over year. They kept getting better. So you have a cord that was manufactured 3 years ago. It's still new. No one bought it, but it was from 3 years ago. So that's why those were slower. I don't think that's an issue with USB-C anymore. I think they're all good if they meet the standard, if they have the C plug on it. Most often is you're using the charger that wasn't meant for your phone, because we have, I think it's the next topic, we have a section on fast charging specifically. There's different standards. Every manufacturer has its own standard. So if you use someone else's charger, it charges their phone fast, but not yours. Same thing, your charger will charge your phone fast, but not theirs. So no swapping. It'll still charge fine, just slow. Quite a while sometimes. Yeah, because we keep forgetting, the batteries in these things are huge. Compared to just 10 years ago, it's easily 4 times the battery. It charges twice as fast as it used to be in terms of time. For 4 times more charge, that means it's 8 times faster, right? So yeah, did a great technology improvements on these batteries. There, until they explode and catch fire, they're awesome. Turning on the phone, second most important thing. Once it's charged, if this part doesn't work, charge your phone first. There's a power button. Often it's on the right side because people are right-handed. You, what we call long press. You press and hold. Your phone's going to usually buzz, and then it's going to have like some logo come up to tell you like, hey, I'm turning on. And then don't press any other buttons. We'll see other combinations later. Power button combined with other things will do other things, not turning on. So make sure the phone is not leaning on another button, that you're not squeezing another button by the way you're holding it, just the power button. Usually the way I do it, I hold the phone, the buttons on my phone, there's one here, there's two here, there's another one here. So I hold like this, make sure I have a firm grip, and I just, on the corner, leverage, press and hold. Logo appears, phone vibrates. Once that happens, let it go. It's turned on, it's turning on. If it has enough battery juice, it'll go. Turning it off, same thing. Usually there's a menu that pops up and asks you, what do you want to do? Do you want to power off? Do you want to reboot? Do you want to restart? Do you want to go to a safe boot? Do you want to go to sleep? I think I've seen that on a phone, but there's often a menu that shows up and it gives you options other than just power off. All right, so this is the weird button combinations that we talked about. So there's recovery mode, there's download mode. You don't really need to get into these for most people. It's just if your phone has a really weird problem or trying to do something really specific to it, you need to get into recovery mode or download mode. So it's used for factory reset or wipe your storage or advanced functions. You need to start with the phone off. You need to long press at the same time. Volume up or down, depending which one you want, and which one does which one depends on which phone you got. So try one, doesn't do what you want, turn it off, try the other one. So volume up or down and power at the same time. Usually, to make sure I get it right, I hold my phone, and if I want to do the volume down, I press volume down and I press power. The volume button first. You press power first and then the button, the phone thinks you're just trying to turn it on. Volume and then power. Hold, it's going to buzz, logo, may not be the same logo, it might have a surprise. And then you go into the weird looking menu for recovery mode.
Okay, so unlocking. So we got face unlock. That's one feature. A lot of phones have facial recognition, so yeah, you can set up that up. It can recognize your face as a potential way to unlock your phone, get in the main screen and the apps. Somewhat secure, but not foolproof. And yeah, fingerprint, that's basically set that up. You can use your fingerprint again to get into your phone. You can also set up fingerprints as a sign in for apps. Not every app will have that, but it's also an option. Fairly secure, I guess, unless your finger goes missing, but yeah. Draw pattern, that's another somewhat secure feature. You draw a pattern, there's dots on the screen, and they recognizes the sequence of dots, and then matches that up with the draw pattern you just drew. And then the pin, that's usually 4-digit permutation. It doesn't have to be 4, but usually default is 4 digits. As Francesco, I guess, said yesterday, there is a bit of a workaround. If somebody were to steal your phone, there usually is kind of like indentations or like kind of grease marks on the buttons or areas of your phone you use more often. So if those buttons are kind of worn out, yeah, a hacker or thief could try to get into your phone. And I think there's 24 possible permutations of 4 digits, so they could try to play a guessing game and try to get into your phone if they really wanted to. Password, yeah, like I guess you use for email or any other app. You can do that to get into your phone. Some people don't like to do that because it's maybe not the most ease of use, a bit more secure than a PIN, but you have to use kind of a password every time you want to get into your phone, and sometimes your screen shuts off and then you gotta type the full password in again and again.
Smart lock. That's alien technology. So there's a lot of options you can have for smart lock. You can set the phone to automatically unlock when it connects to your home Wi-Fi. If you leave your Wi-Fi on, when you get home, your phone often auto connects to the Wi-Fi at your house because the password's saved. And your phone, if you set this to on, once it connects to your Wi-Fi, it unlocks your phone and keeps it unlocked as long as it's connected to your Wi-Fi. You can do the same thing with Bluetooth and other options. GPS location, you need to tell your phone where home is or where office is or which safe places you want to have this enabled. And whenever you are at that place, the phone automatically unlocks. Voice recognition, that's creepy. What if you have a cold? What if you're hiding from your spouse and you want to unlock your phone? They're going to find you.
Locking, so we got phone locking. Power off is one way. You just turn your phone off and then you got to sign back in. Another way is fingerprint lock. With the fingerprint sign in, every time you sign in, you need to swipe your fingerprint. Double tapping the screen. Pretty much any phone I know, won't turn off the applications or whatever you're in, but it'll boot you back to the main sign-in page if you click the screen again. Smart lock, again with Bluetooth. Yeah, you can pair your devices. For one thing, I think some people like, and they like to sync it with their speaker in their car or a speaker in their house. And yeah, they like to have their phone stay open so that they can toggle between songs or whatever, so they don't have to basically sign into their phone. Again, that's ease of use, but if you're the only one basically there at home, then it's not really an issue. But again, there's that trade-off between security and ease of use. To mute your cell, now we have the do not disturb mode. Basically, every phone's a bit different with its settings. But yeah, you can go in your settings and press the do not disturb mode. You can select a time, kind of like a time range. When you don't want that to kind of be active, it'll then block all texts, phone calls. You won't get the phone won't ring at 2 a.m. if you set on do not disturb. You won't get pings from social media at 2 a.m. You can, as a cool feature, you can choose to have specific contacts kind of override that do not disturb mode. So if you want basically somebody to be able to call you, can allow them basically to be the only number, only one or two or three numbers to be able to call despite having your do not disturb. Again, you can have that on most phones, I believe, or pretty much any smartphone now. Android does have that option in their settings.
It does not prevent your alarms from ringing. So if you want to leave your phone on because you're using for an alarm to wake up, but you don't want to be woken up by hey, something happened that you don't care about, use the do not disturb. I do it whenever I use this to wake up. Do not disturb is on. The phone doesn't make noise until it's time for the alarm to go off. Airplane mode. You don't just use it on the airplane though. I don't know why they call it that. So airplane mode, it turns off all transmissions to and from the phone. Turns off your cellular data, your phone connection, your Wi-Fi, and even your Bluetooth. This is meant to reduce interference on airplanes, but it's also a good way to make your phone quiet. Silent mode. Some phones have this. This turns everything off, including alarms if you have it. That's the thing they brought on. They introduced many, many versions ago. I don't trust it, but this is convenient. Just put your phone face down on the table. There's sensors in here to know which way your phone is pointing. That's why when you like rotate your phone, it knows that you rotated the phone and then turned the picture. Well, the same thing. It knows if it's face down, and there's a setting, if you enable it, when it's face down, it mutes your phone. As anybody who's observed, when you rotate your phone, and sometimes it doesn't always turn the picture right away, same thing. When you put it face down, sometimes it doesn't recognize that it's face down. So that's why it's not bulletproof yet, but it works. Making phone calls. So you need an app. That's the thing about smartphones. There's an app for everything, even for being a phone. So usually it's shaped like a phone thing. There's different colors, different icons, and there's different makers of these apps. There's not one dialer app for everybody. You press the dialer app to open it up. You type the number, but it's not like a phone from when we were kids. It's not actually dialing those numbers as you're pressing them. You're just putting them into the phone. When you're done typing the phone number, you press the call button. Until you press the call button, nothing happens. While you're typing the phone number, you can use the backspace if you made a typo. You guys remember the old phones? You made a typo, crap. You have to hang up, wait 3 seconds, pick it up, then try again, right? We don't have that anymore. You use the backspace. When you think you're done, press call button, and it calls. Ending phone calls. You press the hang up button. It's usually red. It's usually at the bottom. Answering a phone call. This is hard. When there's a phone call coming, it's going to say the name of the person, if it knows the name of the person. If not, the number of the person, if it can. And at the bottom, there's 2 buttons. There's a green one and a red one. The green one's for answering. They made these things so that you're not going to answer the phone call by accident, because that happened a lot. So now there's a weird thing where you have to like press and hold the green and slide up. So if you're busy doing something like driving a car, it's really hard to answer a phone call.
Saving contacts from dialing history. So you can, if you ever receive a text or a phone call, phone message, you can tap that particular call and then click add to contacts. With add to contacts, you can add, if you know that person, you can add that person's first, last name, so that you actually can remember who's who. Saving contacts again. You can tap the avatar, which is basically their picture, or you can tap that or their phone number, and again click add contact. Accessing your contacts, basically you just go and you tap the contacts from the dialer. My phone has that I think pretty much every phone usually has that same standard format. You can also open up your contacts app directly.
Wi-Fi. Nobody knows what Wi-Fi means. So, no, I looked it up. They don't know. These are the common logos for Wi-Fi. It's always a wedge shape. Sometimes there's lines. Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes there's a dot. Sometimes there isn't. This is just different styles of artists. That's the logo for Wi-Fi, and that's usually the button to turn it on and off on your phone. If it's a bright color or a dark color, like dark black, it's on. If it's like a weird gray, it's probably off. And that's true for all buttons. So a lot of people get confused about Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is free, okay? You don't pay your phone company for your Wi-Fi. That's like, we have Wi-Fi in this place here. If you want to connect, you have most people have Wi-Fi at their home, at their school, at their place of work, in libraries. It's free, which means there's no limit to how much data you can have. It doesn't cost you anything. This is perfect to go watch videos or do your phone updates, your software updates, okay? You turn the Wi-Fi on, it's going to ask you which network you want to connect to. It's going to bring you a list. You pick the one that you want, you enter the password if it needs a password. If it doesn't need a password, it's called an open Wi-Fi. It's unsecured Wi-Fi. It's usually the ones you have at stores and coffee shops, although they start putting passwords on it because people are doing weird stuff. If something bad happens, sometimes you put in the correct password, or you think you put in the correct password, it's still not letting you in. Go into your connections menu, in your settings, there's a lot of different categories. One of them is called connections. Get in there, going to Wi-Fi, pick the one you have trouble with, click forget. It's going to forget everything it thinks it knows about it. There's a lot of settings saved in your phone to try to make it easier for you to connect to different Wi-Fis, and sometimes there's a weird setting that used to be good and now it's no longer good and it won't let go of it, just tell them, forget about everything, forget I've been to that store ever, and then start over. Turn on your Wi-Fi, select a network, enter the password. Often that fixes your problem. Cellular data. That's the expensive one. So the logo for this, it's usually some kind of arrow up and down. This is the one that you pay for with your cell phone. This one's free. This one you pay for. When they say you have this many gigs of data, they mean cellular data. This is your phone talking to an antenna on the street somewhere or in a church steeple. They love hiding them in church steeples. So turn your data on. It automatically connects. There's no password. There's no nothing. Your phone knows how to talk to the tower of the company you're with. Roaming, it happens. When that happens, usually there's an R next to your logo here on the top of your phone, so pay attention. When that shows up, you're in trouble. Roaming means your phone connected, but not to the company that you have an account with. It connected to someone else because your company is not available in that area often. And it used to be, less so now, but it used to be whenever you're roaming, you're paying extra for data because usually roaming is not included in the data that is included with your account. So there's an extra cost for that. When you go traveling to a different country, Telus is not in another country, and neither is Rogers. So you're going to be connected to cell towers in the US or in Mexico or wherever. You're definitely roaming over there. A lot of people, they just get a temporary little card. We'll talk about it in the next topic. So they're members of that network. It's cheaper than paying roaming fees internationally. That's a symbol for Bluetooth. I have a question. Why is it called Bluetooth? It has nothing to do with teeth or the color blue, although the logo is often the color blue. Bluetooth was a Viking village leader or something, and he united a bunch of Viking villages together. His name was Bluetooth. Bluetooth technology on your phones allows you to connect to a bunch of devices and bring them together. You have to pick a name, right? That's the name. And the logo, it's because B and T in Norse alphabet from the Vikings, that's what it would look like. That's the B, and I think there's an X for the T, and they put them together. That's where the logo comes from. So turn Bluetooth on like anything else. There's going to be a list of available devices. Those are the things that your phone is detecting within range that are Bluetooth devices that are on, that are available to connect to right now. And it also includes Bluetooth devices you connected to in the past. It remembers them. It might ask you for security code, not always. If it asks you for security code, try 0000 or 1234 or 8888. That's the three most common ones. Most things don't need security codes. So this is very common for car audio. So your car or the radio in your car, if you change for one, if you have a really, really old car and have a newer radio that has Bluetooth, it allows you to connect your phone to the car. This allows you to play music that's on your phone through the car speakers, whether it's the music that's actually physically on your phone or you're going on YouTube or Spotify on your phone. It's sending, instead of having the sound coming out of your speakers of the phone, it sends it to the car. Use the car speakers, and you can use the car's volume knob to control it. Same thing for phone calls in the car. There's a microphone on those stereos that have Bluetooth to hear your voice, and you can hear your other person's conversation in the car speakers, which means everybody in your neighborhood is going to hear your car conversation also. Earbuds, very popular these days. Anybody remember when we used to plug in your earbuds into the phone? My phone still has it. I don't know if it works. Everything's Bluetooth now because it means you can have your phone in your bag and your earbuds are in. There's no wire going from one to the other. You have freedom of movement. If you're in the kitchen cooking, you can have your phone somewhere on the table so it's not near where all the cooking's happening. You don't have to touch it with your hands. When you're working out, same thing. You put it on a shelf somewhere so it's not linked to you by a wire. It's very, very convenient. Speakers. We talk about Bluetooth speakers before with a charging cable. That's for the ones that are meant to be mobile. You can get a big unit that goes in your living room, and you can connect your laptop, your phone, your whatever to it by Bluetooth, no wires. So you can listen to your favorite songs, even if it's on YouTube, on your really loud speakers using Bluetooth. It's easy to connect, and it's a better sound quality than this. You get to listen to it loud instead of using earbuds. So that's another cool thing. And there's really good speakers on Amazon for like $100. Hearing aids. What? People that go on with age, often they lose hearing. My dad did. And the newer models, often they have a Bluetooth feature built in. So if you're making a phone call, putting this up to your ear when you have an hearing aid makes it weird. You can connect your phone to your hearing aids, Bluetooth hearing aids, and you can hear the phone call just like if it was earbuds, but it's your hearing aids. Same thing with your TV. You can connect your TV to your hearing aids, and you can listen to them. So it's the same idea as earbuds, but it's for convenience when you lose your hearing. OBD2. That's a car thing. Onboard data version 2. Came out in 1996. The diagnostic port for your car, starting with 1996, you can buy on Amazon for like $7, $10, $12. A little connector that fits into your OBD2 port. It's usually near where the driver's left knee is. There's a little secret compartment. Pull it off. There's a connector. Plug it in there. And if it's a Bluetooth one, connect to it with your phone. It'll tell you which app that it's compatible with, and there's a bunch of free apps. We'll talk about apps in another class. And then you can turn off your check engine light when it comes on. You can see what code turned the check engine light on. You can get live data from your engine. You can do a lot of cool things with that, but it works with, most of them are with Bluetooth. Glucose monitors. Those are fun. They're expensive, but they're fun. So for people who have diabetes, instead of poking yourself 7-8 times a day to check your blood glucose, and you need to keep your meter with you and your reading sticks and your new needles and everything, they make sensors now, just different companies. It jams it into your arm or anywhere else you want. Arm is a good spot. And then you turn on your Bluetooth, you connect to it. It's good for about 2 weeks before the battery runs out. And you can get real time every, 5 minutes or whatever, your blood glucose on your phone. There's an app, it tells you which app to go with this sensor that you're using. And you can see in real time, and you can set alarms. If it gets too low, it wakes up the whole neighborhood. If it gets too high, it wakes up the whole neighborhood anyways. And it's really useful for managing diabetes.
Yeah, Brandon, he mentioned that we can actually use phones as a monitor, like a glucose monitor. It's not like the phone itself, but it's an app that you can download. And because I'm diabetic, so I need to have like a phone connected to my sensor. So I have a sensor and I have a pump. And basically, there is an app on my phone that is connected to my sensor, and it gives me reads. Like basically, that's what my blood sugar is right now. It's 8.7, and this is basically it's really amazing, because before I needed really to use needles, draw some blood and measure, and I needed to do it very, very frequently. But now I don't have to do this anymore because I have the sensor that's connected. I need to change it every 10 days. And the pump itself, I need to renew it like every 3 days. And basically this is really, it's just like it's life-saving. It saves time, energy, and actually it puts stress away, because I can actually monitor, and even my husband can have access to my readings. And even if I'm away from him, you can have access actually to my readings, just like in case. For people like me, like I'm an adult, but this is it's a great way for kids as well, because the parents can have access, to their kids reading, and it can save lives. Because I have my niece, she's a doctor, and she used to tell me stories like when kids can just die while they're asleep because of this. So yeah, so that's my story, and this is it's really just like amazing, great tool for me.
Does the app make noise?
It makes noise because what you need to do is set up like upper and lower limits. When it goes above a certain limit, it will ring. It makes really noise. Like sometimes it will wake up my husband. If it goes down, it's the same thing. So if it goes up, I would know that I need to inject insulin. If it goes down, so I need to take a snack to bring my blood sugar to normal range. So you have more questions?
What about the pump?
Well, the pump itself, this is something that I need to change like every 3 days, and I need just like to fill it with the insulin, whatever I need for those 3 days. So,
How do you control it?
the way I control it, I'm using this. This is another phone. I cannot make calls with this one. This one is just, I need basically to enter my blood sugar, whatever my readings are in here, in this section. And then here, when I'm ready to eat, like let's say you have a juice in there, and on the bottle itself, it tells you how many carbs or sugar you have in here. And what I would do is just take, because if I'm taking the whole bottle, so I would know how much sugar I have there. And that's basically what I will enter in here, like 40 grams or 50 grams, whatever. And the PDM itself, it will calculate, like let's say here, I would just like enter 40 grams, and the PDM will calculate until we need to inject 2.5. And that's it. I'm just okay. And then I will confirm, and it will inject without even telling me anything. So yeah,
There a new one?
there is an upgrade for the pump I have right here. The new pump basically will connect, and it will talk with the sensor itself. So the only thing for me as a patient, what I need to do is just like to program my PDM to tell if my blood sugar goes up to 13, for instance, please inject. And it will do that automatically. So without even telling me anything, because there is a connection, there will be a connection between to know, this is my blood sugar, so I will inject 2.5 unit, 1 unit, whatever I program or I use here as a values. And usually when I start injecting, I can hear clicking until it's completely done. Yeah. Sometimes like the pump itself is defective, so I can change it, because if I keep injecting and nothing is changing because my reading stays high, so I would know that something is off, so I will just like change it.
So as she mentioned, she changes the pump every 3 days. So we've gone through, I don't know, a couple hundred pumps so far, because it's every 3 days, it's about 130 pumps a year. Twice. She turned the pump on, put the insulin in, the pump started shrieking, and there's no buttons on it. And I looked at the instructions, troubleshooting. What happens if the pump makes noise? Just take the battery out. It's sealed. It's waterproof. How do you take the battery out? You go to the garage, you grab a screwdriver and your hammer, and you chisel the fucking thing out of it, and then it shut it up.
The other types.
Nobody can hear you. I got the
Yeah,
microphone.
the other types, like when you, it comes like with the tubing, and it goes everywhere. And like specifically for women, you need something really discreet. For guys, like you can still have the pump, and you can have your PDM in your pocket. Like with ladies, like sometimes they are wearing dresses, or this is very, very discreet. It goes here, or right at the back. So
And you can take it in the shower?
Yeah, I can swim. And I can take shower as well.
That's a big improvement. The other ones with tubes, you have to take the actual pump off. And so basically you're not getting insulin for the length of your shower because the pump with the insulin is on the counter. You just have like the injection thing with the half a tube hanging out. So yeah, it's actually amazing technology that they have here. It's kind of expensive though. But if your insurance, I think the sensor needs to be covered by your private insurance, but the pump is covered by the government.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's just awesome. Using the camera, the fun part. So there's a camera app that comes with your phone. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. The camera apps I'm talking about, not the camera. Most phones have really good cameras today. So there's different modes. You can take pictures. Usually that's the logo you're looking for. It's in the same app. The same app will do all these things. You just need to know, you should tell the app, what do you want to do? Take a picture or take a movie? There's video mode. Usually it's some icon that looks like that. And phones today have multiple cameras. They have at least one facing you. It's called the selfie camera. And then the one or ones at the back, those are called the main camera. So selfie, just facing you to take yourself. And the ones at the back they're called main camera. You cannot specifically tell which one of these three to use. The app will use the one that's most appropriate to what you're doing right now. But that's the button. It's a camera with 2 arrows to switch between selfie and main, whichever one you want. You want to take a picture of yourself, you want to take a picture of what you're pointing the phone at. Flash. Do you want to use flash or not? So there's actually 3 settings usually. This turns the flash on. This turns the flash off. So sometimes the flash is harmful to what you're trying to do because if it's a shiny surface and the flash goes off, it reflects and blinds the camera. You can't see you take a picture. What do you take a picture of? The big blinding blue fireball. Turning it on, there's usually 2 levels of this. If it has an A here, it's automatic, which means the camera will decide if it needs the flash or not. If there's no A, like this one, usually it's, I'm going to use the flash. I don't care what happens. So usually you have 3 settings. Pick the one that is useful to you. Most people leave it on automatic, and it's fine. Focus. You tap on your screen on what you want to focus. If you tap on somebody's face, most phones today are really good at tracking a face. You could tap on a piece of background, and it's going to keep the focus on there so that the things moving in the foreground do not interfere with it. We've all seen videos of stuff, and stuff's happening, and then the camera says, I want to focus on the thing instead. Or there's like a tree branch that comes in front. Oh, look, tree branch. No, the thing is in the back. So tap on the screen to tell it where to focus. Otherwise, it's going to guess. Sometimes it guesses correctly. Sometimes it guesses incorrectly. Open camera. That's a really neat app. It can be very useful if you're a camera nerd. And sometimes it doesn't really add any functionalities if the camera app that came with your phone is really good. Open camera often, at the very least, is going to give you more information about what the camera on your phone is doing right now in terms of the aperture setting, the exposure setting, the ISO calibration, and all that crap. At least it's going to do that because often these camera apps don't do that because they want just let people take pictures of their birthday parties. Sometimes this camera, the open camera app, sometimes it lets you, if your phone lets it, it will let you specify which of the main cameras to use right now instead of just like let the app guess, right? In my case, this phone, because I tried while I was typing this, like I got 3 main cameras, and this one can use all 3 of them. This one can only use 2 of them. So sometimes the original app knows how to access the camera on this phone because it was made specifically for this phone. And sometimes this one doesn't. Often it's the other way around. This one knows more about your camera than the camera app. It depends on which model of phone you have and where you got it from, which camera app they included. In this case, it's a big major manufacturer, so they made their own camera app. They know how to access their stuff. But sometimes it's a lesser known brand. They use some random camera app, which, I mean, it does an okay job, and then this one says, no, here's like all the settings. My previous phone, open camera, was like really, really good. This one, not so much. So screen brightness settings, that's what this is about. So if you swipe down from your phone, you'll have a control bar at the bottom right here. You can make the screen brighter or dimmer. Brighter uses more battery and makes your phone really hot. So only use it sparingly. If you're outside, usually that's when I put it full brightness. And even then, sometimes I'm looking for shade under a tree. If you're indoors, you can turn the brightness down, saves your battery, and saves your screen life also. These burn out eventually. Some apps allow you to control the brightness by doing a circular swipe. So you hold your phone and you just do a swipe like a circle shape, and it'll put a logo on there. Sometimes it's the volume though, so watch it. And sometimes the same app allows you to both, one side's for volume, one side, and they don't tell you which one. So just make a circle, see what shows up. Sometimes it's the brightness, sometimes it's volume. It's a cool feature when you expect it. If you're trying to just make a circle, you're like, whoa, what happened? Adaptive brightness, your phone has sensors on it to know how much light is around it. So if you turn this on, the phone will decide by itself, should I go full brightness because he's outside, or should I like dim it because he's in the basement hiding under a table again? I don't like it myself. I like to control the brightness myself, but that's personal preferences. Blue light protection in your phone brightness settings, in the screen settings. You can turn this on after a certain hour of the day, like after 10 p.m., I think. It'll change the color of the phone screen. It'll be a little bit more, what they say, warm, so less blue in it, more yellow. It helps a lot of people go to sleep. Some people, the blue light prevents them from going to sleep. Some people are not affected, so your mileage may vary. And color balance, same idea, but for like the whole day. You can set your screen to have, it's the same thing for light bulbs in your house, right? We all have LEDs or CFLs or whatever. There's the warm ones, there's the cool ones, and then there's the daylight ones that are in the middle. Same thing, you have that kind of setting in your screen brightness so that the white background is not white, it's warm white or blue white or daylight white. It's a matter of preference. Find which one you like and stick with it. Screen zoom. This is also a setting. It's sometimes hiding under like accessibility features. Your phone comes with a default zoom you want to make everything look nice. But if you need reading glasses, it's too small for you. You can set the default zoom in your phone so that all the text is this % bigger. Everything's going to be lined up weird now. I've seen some people's phones like, oh, how can you read this? It's basically a whole sentence, but it's like the whole screen, but this way because it's one word at a time because it's so big. But if it prevents you from fumbling for your readers every time, it helps. Using apps. So Android is not a rigid system like Apple. They have their own iOS, which everybody's look the same. You want to personalize it, go buy something else, not Apple. For Android, they have like design guidelines. Like these buttons are all the same. It's just what style are they using. These buttons are all the same and those are all the same. So this is the back button. That's the home button. This one looks like a house. And this is the task switcher. So back button, bam. So your phone has its own back button. Most apps also have a back button. These don't do the same thing. The app back button will just bring you to the previous screen in that app. Your phone's back button can do that. It can also get you out of the app without closing the app. Just it takes you back to the previous screen you're on the phone. Home button brings you to your home screen. If you just like, I want to get out of this app without closing it, or open a different one, or go check something else, that will take you to your home screen. You can open another app. Background apps. So the carousel here, it takes you to all the apps that you haven't closed, so they're still running, but running in the background. They use less power when they're in the background. They're at a lower priority for memory and processor time, but they're still using up battery. So you need to learn how to close your apps. If you want to close an app, that's also how you get there. You get to the carousel, you scroll left, right to the app you want, and you scroll usually up to close it. Installing and uninstalling. Only install from the actual app store for your phone provider directly. If it's Apple, it's the app store, like there's only one. If it's Google, it's the Play Store. The apps in there they're screened for safety, for security, make sure there's no viruses, no malware, no nothing. Usually they're really, really good. To uninstall, you just long press the icon on your home screen or in your folders, and then there's a little menu that opens. You can just delete the shortcut. That doesn't uninstall, it just removes the shortcut from there. Or you can uninstall it. That will remove the app from your phone. It'll delete all the data it saved, hopefully, and it's gone. System apps. So whoever you buy your phone from, it comes preloaded with some apps that they have a partnership with. Facebook is always in there. And there's a few other ones that you can't remove because it was installed. It's part of a system app. Now, some apps you shouldn't remove because it's going to break the phone. But like the Facebook app, it's treated as a system app because they have a partnership. It has to be in there. You cannot remove it. But sometimes you can disable them. So long press, see if there's an option for disable. It'll turn it off. It won't bug you for updates. Its data is still there though. Wiping data. There's all kinds of good reasons to do this. So when you go in your settings screen, there's an app section, and then there it lists all the apps. Click the app you're worried about, and in there you always have two options: clear cache and clear data. Clear cache just removes the data it's saved temporarily, like the last thing you did with it or the password or whatever. Wipe all data, it's all the data this app has ever downloaded on your phone. You can get rid of all that. So if you have a problem with an app, it's not working anymore, it's not letting you log in or whatever, clear the cache first, try it again. That doesn't work, clear the cache and wipe the data. Often that works. If that doesn't work, uninstall it, reinstall it. Often that fixes the problem. Sometimes something just gets corrupted, a file gets corrupted, and then the app doesn't know how to recover from that. So that's that for this first topic. Any questions? All right. You have a question?
How can I keep my phone on without turning it off?
Oh, that's a slide I forgot to put in there. You should turn off your phone at least once a week. Every day is better, but it's not always practical. The thing about phones, they're like computers. They're on all the time. They keep stuff in memory, and then stuff gets corrupted and whatever. If you turn it off and turn it back on, it reloads everything fresh. It saves a lot of problems. A lot of people, their phone gets slow. You just turn it off, turn it back on, and then, oh, look, your 46 instances of Firefox are gone now. Removing your 46 instances of Firefox also helps speed up phones. But
sometimes it's just like, for me, I don't see a difference between turning it off completely and restart.
they do the same thing. They do the same thing. Yeah, restart or power off and start back on. The phone just wipes everything out and reloads everything fresh. They have the same effect, yes. But leaving it on continuously, not good. I know sometimes we need alarms, like to wake up or whatever, and that's fine. If you're using that every night, okay, take 30 seconds, turn it off, turn it back on, or just do a restart. It'll keep things fresh and working properly, because the things that get sluggish quickly, it's the sensors. You didn't get any cookies.
One question, if we go back to this Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Specifically at work, because like I have both the Wi-Fi and the data
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
And when I go to work, it switched to Wi-Fi automatically. So
Okay.
it's like I don't understand how
It's magic.
it's done. And when I go home as well, it's the same thing.
If both your Wi-Fi and your data are on,
It's by default, I think.
if both are on, your phone will favor Wi-Fi because it knows this costs money usually, almost always. This is free usually, almost always. So if both are on, it'll use the Wi-Fi because it knows for most people, if they're home or work Wi-Fi, they don't pay for it, it's free. The phones are programmed to prefer Wi-Fi